But when I started doing form, I became very happy from it, because I went from this head person to becoming listening, to go more in the heart. That was there from day one. I fell in love with Tai Chi because of this, and that didn't change at all. I mean, I'm speaking now of doing and being and blah blah blah, but the happiness was found along the way and not at the end of the road. There's no gold pot at the end of the rainbow, so sort of say. So this process of having this structure to work, to go in, that's the beauty, and that didn't change for me at all. And I still love that's what I love about Tai Chi. Yeah.
I think one of the main qualities of doing these practices is to get to know oneself even better than in the beginning. You get there's one door opening, then another door, and after a while you get to know more and more about yourself, and also become more and more aware about the surrounding and also the surrounding people and the interaction, what's happening there. And that's what I found very, very interesting. And it's growing and growing, and sometimes growing into directions I haven't expected before. Yeah. That's what I found very interesting. So it doesn't stop after the class, but it just continues like a beautiful flow. And you never know. I don't know where the journey goes to.
Yeah, no.
But it's like kind of opening doors. Before I started Taiji, I was doing a lot of sports things. And I thought I would have a pretty good feeling of my own body. And then I entered the Taiji class and Qigong class, and afterwards I thought, whoa, this is completely new to me. This is a completely new feeling, new experiences. So that made me really curious. Getting to know more. About it.
I'm curious actually about the differences then between regular sports. What did you experience that was different when you then went into the Tai Chi?
I think it's more with the normal sports, it's more the outer quality. So you try to strengthen your muscles, you try to be fast, you try to be this and that and whatsoever, and you always check like with kind of measurements, like with a watch, with a centimeter thing or what. So it's outer measurements. And we have in Germany, we have like two different words for the body. One is the new one, it's called Körper, so corpus. And the other one is Leib, but it's more like something has to do with living. And the corpus is usually when the doctors see a dead person and they just check what's
the corpse.
Yeah, the corpse.
Like
it's the corpse.
Yeah. It's just the meat and the
kind of a dead body. And the other one is more live, like something which is alive. And I think it's a bit more like this. Like once you start practicing Tai Chi and Qigong, you more feel this life, this living body and this interaction. That's what I think is main difference. There are no measurements, no outside measurements, but inside feelings, inside experiences. It's more like the German word Leib.
Yeah, that's cool. I like that.
Yeah, so for me it's more about vulnerability. So Tai Chi is teaching me somehow that if you give up something, you win something. And it's quite opposite of how the normal daily life is working. And so I find that you become vulnerable, but by becoming vulnerable, you become very, very strong. Something you have nothing to lose anymore. But this is one thing I really like about the Tai Chi work. It's like, and the other thing is that you have this connection without words with another person, especially if you do push hands. So the quality of communication between two people and just in this sensing environment brings up a lot of information, and I really like it. So I really got a sense of how to connect to people, and this is an outward connection, but it's at the same time it's also this inner connection. So what is this me that I'm connecting to? So for me, the practice of Tai Chi really learned something about me. Like who am I? What is my space? What is my place? But I had to get rid of all these ideas I had about myself. I had to get loose out of this, And then the relaxation, the mind quieting down makes it possible to shift to another level, or to another communication level. And this is what I like about it. And there's this paradox of, you're trading a fighting art, or martial arts. Well, martials maybe not the same as fighting. And I have no interest in fighting whatsoever. And the more I train, the less I become interested in fighting. So this is this paradox,
Sure.
So again, it's this with the vulnerability. It's the same thing. You just, by feeling what is and just accepting that you get into your power, instead of just posing that you're bigger than you are. What I do all the time. So I have to learn quite a lot. And I see a lot around me, but I'm just think about myself. This is what for me that's the interesting.
It's really nice, really interesting. Do you guys, either of you, have any questions or areas in this that you're still wanting to explore? Because I think as teachers, we already have some experience in some things that we've like what we've just discussed, areas that have come out, but maybe after a certain time there are other questions that might not have come to you in the beginning, that you feel that something that you want to follow.
Yeah, for me it's the connectiveness. How can I connect the whole body, mind and body, one with the body with the surrounding, or the person with the surrounding, everyone, just the connectiveness. Because I think as soon as we manage to just be connected, but like not leaving out some bits and pieces because we don't need them, or we don't want to check there or whatsoever, then there is just a natural power. So I think for me it's the connectiveness and how to reach that connectiveness, and it's really, really interesting. And then
don't know if that one ever stops.
I'm on my way.
It's good. It's great.
Because we are more. We always think like we are individuals, and it's fine for a while to first check oneself and say, okay, who am I? But then see, maybe you are not that individual. So there's more than one person. So there's, and I like this connectiveness with other people, with the whatever surrounding there is.
Yeah. That's nice.
Well, everything she said. No, I like this connected things, because that's really, really important. But you have this listening energy in Tai Chi. And this is becoming much more important for me lately, is that actually the energy system of the body is running by itself. Just the more you're getting soft, the more you can listen to this energy system. It will tell you what to do. You need this openness, and from there will be a response. Only we're too busy screaming to ourselves that it's wrong or right, to listen. But so for me, the depth of the Tai Chi training is that the more I can listen to myself, the more I can be in connection with the other, because there's nothing in between. So, and this is, I just hit the surface of this, I think you can become really, really deep.
And I'm just thinking, because we're speaking about connecting to other people, so from ourselves to other people, and not being just the individual. But do we have this experience? Because for me personally, also I have this experience of connection, and I want to explore that, but also just to the wider surroundings as well, and expanding, not expanding myself into that, but having a more tangible relationship with, the ground, the space. I don't want to go like hugging trees or anything, but maybe I do, but for me it's not just the people. It is the people, but everything else as well.
And it's giving up doing. It's like it's this constantly you're going from this I have to do something to listening. This already better, but in the end it's about being. It's like forms in Tai Chi they're made up. They're constructions of the mind. they're beautiful, but there's so many. Why? You know,
Yeah.
because there's ego involved. You know, somebody wants to make some money. Let's make a new form on one level, and there's also depth in there. And in every form, there's a real experience of the person who made the form. So this is the balance. But I think in the essence is going from doing to being, and that's you know, well, my teacher always says, look, Tai Chi is like a circle, you know. First it's a big circle, but slowly the circle becomes smaller and smaller. And the end is dot, but it's still the circular movement is inside, you know, but it can be really, really quiet. And I think in the end that's the aim of Tai Chi, is to be, you know. And then the body you train the body to behave in a natural way. So when you're in a fight or whatever, or whenever you're in communication, which is a better word maybe, that you will flow naturally, which naturally for you, which might be something different than for you. So I like these beings, you know, like not interfering, just let the energy go through.
Yeah, there's one thing I'm really interested in. How do we get there? Like, how does the path look like? How can we reach maybe what we aim for? And the Chinese say step by step. We also have the same saying, and I think it starts from where am I now? So it might be very good to just start physically, just at the point where we are right now, what is possible with who I am, and then just start step by step. And with this, the forms are actually quite interesting because they just transmit very useful ideas of how you can sense in yourself, how you can let the power flow, or how you can free yourself. And this I think is very useful just to learn the forms, to understand, find a great understanding of the principles, and then after a while letting them go. Pushing hands, you start with patterns, and then you just
don't do that anymore.
But you just censor yourself, censor the surrounding, the other people, and then.
I guess it's like what you're saying, this transition from doing to being. And actually, I think the doing part is important to have something tangible to work with in the first place. Like you say, making that connection, you got to do that step by step. And you know, in that state of the dots, the circle getting smaller, this coming into almost like decluttering. It just is. That being just is, and there's almost like a simple truth to it. And from that, I feel then you can respond to the outside without this I have to do to
let's twist the wrist now.
Sometimes that's also useful.
No, but in my own experience, it's like it's not like a linear progress. It's that when I started doing form, I became very happy from it, because I went from this head person to becoming listening, to go more in the heart. You know, that was there from day one. I fell in love with Tai Chi because of this, you know, and that didn't change at all. I mean, I'm speaking now of doing and being and blah blah blah, but the happiness was found along the way and not at the end of the road. There's no gold pot at the end of the rainbow, you know, so sort of say. So this process of having this structure to work, to go in, that's the beauty, and that didn't change for me at all, and I still love that's what I love about Tai Chi. So for me, I started Tai Chi when I was like 24 or something like this, and the idea to sit still on a cushion for 50 minutes was like the most horrible thing you could ever ask me to do. You know, I would have a war inside my head. I would have like wanting to kill the teacher that was making me do this. You know, like, I mean, not literally, but something in me. So the beauty of Tai Chi is that you can move, and that this movement has this quality of meditation, but still you're so busy with the movement that your mind gets quiet within the movement. And so in this way, now it was a nice entry level. Now I can sit for 2 hours meditation. I don't give it's no problem anymore. But I was so nervous. My system was so uptight, in a way, that just sitting still, it was like everything was blocked. And because of the flow of the motion, Tai Chi, the softness, and you really get in touch with this feeling of relaxation. And then slowly you can bring it, you can make it less, and you can make it less, and you don't need the movement anymore to feel this. And then you can sit, So this is for me the most important thing from Tai Chi is that, I can move. I had the same with if you go to a psychologist, you have to sit in front of this guy or girl and you sit still. But I have all these emotions in my body that cannot be expressed in sitting. So I rather walk and have a conversation than sit, because I feel somehow it gets stuck, it gets rigid, And then when you move, this natural flow is already there. And Tai Chi is very complicated, but it's good because you're busy with something. So you're only busy with this, so your mind gets quiet, and that's the other side of it. So the complexity of Tai Chi is there for a reason. Yeah. It's not simple, but it's meant to be difficult.
Yeah, and thanks for bringing up the students, because I find that the students they are my most precious teachers. Yes. Like, because I get so many different views and insights of their feeling, of their thinking, of their questions. This just it's great to have these insights, because just makes everything fill more up. And the same with meditation. Like I think for meditation it always needs to be the right time, the right spot, also the meditation that suits you a lot. Because I think meditation is very, very powerful, and meditation can be anything. If I just sit down, have a cup of tea and watch out of the window, this could be meditation as well. And so if for a person this is the suiting meditation, that's fine. If the other one wants to just walk into the forest and just be there, just breathe with the trees, that's also beautiful meditation. And for others it's just nice to sit there and not hear anything and just be quiet. For others it would be just a nightmare. So I think there are different peoples, and maybe also in different times different kind of trainings or practices suit. And for me meditation is also a way to connect with myself and also with the surrounding, and it's also a way of freeing myself, because maybe when I start very like this, and then after a while it's opening, and just time flies by, time's not there anymore. It's not important. There are many things that are not important anymore, but you get a lot of insights, I'd say, and a lot of experiences. But with meditation, there are different styles, and I think everyone has to find a style which is suiting oneself. So a style where you think, I can just let go in there, and if you have a feeling like, no, this is not for me, then what is the sense of doing it?
So I want to add something. That we're talking about guided meditation. So I think there's a difference between, a teacher can open a door to something, but the student have to digest. You know what I'm saying? So a guided meditation can bring you in the state of meditation, but if you become dependent on the app or the tape or then it's not yours. Then it's still from the other person. And you see a lot of my students, they can do the form only when I'm doing it with them. So they're not digesting the form, they didn't make them their own yet, which is fine. I mean, you don't have to, but the power comes out when you make it your own. You make it. So if you whatever meditation you do, if you listen to the tape, try the next day to do it without the tape, and then the next day you can use the tape again to get like new food in to make your meditation more powerful. But you have to digest, like just with the form. Only if you only know a little part, but make this part your own. Because if you just hang in there with the teacher, it's still working a little bit, but it's only a surface level. If you want to go deeper, you should make it
Well, this is this thing again, whether it's meditation or form, that students, to begin with, in the very early stages, because the higher levels of Tai Chi meditation, where really we have this nothing, that's so far away in the beginning, and even the movement is just a physical exercise in the beginning, and following a teacher, I think, is a useful tool for many people. And some people don't even want to go beyond that.
Which is fine.
Do the physical thing, but maybe that's enough just to be there in that moment, not being so busy because there are complexities, or even sitting and being guided, like I say, or with your cup of tea and looking out the window, that just having that few minutes of space. But I think this is the thing, that link to bringing it then into your own. If a teacher can say, okay, you've got that, the door is open, even if it's only that bit that you can carry away with you, or like I say, switching off the tape, even if it's only for a few minutes with something. I think it's quite difficult for people to come inside in the beginning.
Well, in this current age, it's becoming more difficult. You have this, your phone is getting your attention all the time.
Yeah, but this coming inside is very difficult. But I agree with that, and therefore the forms, they are very useful, because we always say like, the form is also a kind of moving meditation. And for some people who just can't sit quietly, or maybe too many things just come up once they sit down, and it's just not the right time for this to come up, then the moving meditation is just perfect. So it helps them calming down on their own pace, and then when they feel like, okay, sitting down is now the right time, then they can sit down, and then it's just useful to just find out what kind of meditation suits you and where you want to go to.
I want to ask actually then, for people that hadn't done this, and particularly meditation, you'd think, well, so what's the point of meditation? Why would I need it? We're talking about methods to get there, but why would you want to be there? Just throwing that out there.
It's a very good question, but I don't know how long the tape is. This is quite a question. So the question. So if you want to live in this world where everything evolves around what's wrong or right, you don't do the meditation. But if you want to go a little bit deeper, then you need meditation to somehow get away from the outer brain and get more in touch with the deeper side there. And that's where the feelings are stuck. So meditation in the end is just feeling what's still left in the body, what's not processed yet. Like every night you go to sleep, and in your sleep you dream. This is a process of getting rid of the energy that's stuck in your body somehow. So meditation has the same quality. It's to get in touch with what's really there in the moment, and accepting that, which is easily said, quite difficult to do. So in my idea, that's the idea of that's the theory of meditation, is you get in touch with these blocked feelings and you let them flow through, so you feel more space. You don't become, so many people become slave of their jobs, a slave of the partner, slave of how society thinks that you should do things. But your own energy system tells you what you like and what you don't like, and it's nice to get in tune with that, so you make the choices that are good for your system, which is completely different than your system and your system. So that's for me the essence of meditation, is to get in touch with this feeling and just let them express themselves without judgment.
Yeah, I think there are different layers on the meditation. I always like to start with the body, just with whom am I now, just what can I feel. So just it's so interesting to just feel how the body functions. like you feel the breathing, you start with this one, then you might feel to the organs and just have the bodily experience just from the inside to see like, whoa, there's something lively inside. And also I think the brain as well, how everything works, and then you have like the next thing is like the emotions.
Yeah.
So what do the emotions with you? So it's I think that's some kind of next layer, and the other layer is then the mental thing, or I don't know to say right the English word for it. The geistige Ebene.
The spirit.
Yeah, right. But it's mental and spirit, so it's not like divided. It's it's joined together. So I think there are these three layers to it, and I always like to start with the bodily and then the emotional thing, and then the mental, spiritual thing.
Well, I have. Sorry. I'm just thinking because I can understand these concepts and the sensing and all of this, but what if I go inside and then I find something I really don't like?
Well,
you know, it's just a question because this is...
My theory is that you're going to find it anyway. So. I mean, it's there. You can suppress it and it will express in another way. You know, you will get sick or you will get, you know. So if you can let it go through, I mean, it's what it is. You have the feeling anyway. You know you have the feeling. I mean, you can block it. I mean, you probably need a lot of boost for that or whatever you need for that to but then you're still on the run for yourself, in my understanding. So the feeling is there. Yeah. Well, sometimes you have bad feelings about yourself, about life. So what's the problem with it?
Well, what do you do with it then?
Nothing. Just be with it. It's there anyway. So what do you do with a tree? Well, nothing. It's there. Yeah. Sometimes you enjoy it. Sometimes you think, you don't even notice it. It's just there. But most of the time, our mind is trying to help us not to feel what's there, because actually it's trying to help us, but it's not very good help.
Yeah, I think then when the emotions or feelings come up which are not really nice to you, or you judge them, or I don't like them, then it's always, I think it's always like a present, you know, it's like someone is giving you a present, your whatsoever, who you are, is passing you on something. Look here, I've got something. And it's always interesting to check it, just see, okay, what is it? Maybe if you first think, do I want this? Am I in the right position to just face it and be aware of it, or am I in a situation I'm not able to handle it? You always, I think you have always many choices.
Yes,
you can be aware of it, but you can also say, oh, not now. It's not the right time. But paying attention to it is always a very, very precious thing, because you just get to know more about this. And then, like a Taoist teacher in Beijing, she always said, like, if things come up, you just pay attention, but don't judge them. They are as they are, but they don't need to affect you in any way. You just pay attention to them. And this is not always easy. So I would always recommend everybody, just check yourself. Do you want this now, or maybe later, or whatsoever? But once you pay attention to it, it's just a very big treasure, because you lift up something and you can open, you can play with it, and it gives you a lot of strength, because all the emotions, they have a lot of power in them. They have a power to just smash you down. At the same time, they have the power to just help you in any case, in any way.
Yeah, it's great.
And for you?
For me, I don't know. I like listening to what you guys are saying. I think we may have to be quick with this one now. For me, the purpose of meditation and this coming into the quiet place, and if there is something that maybe I don't like, I think it is this accepting of it for what it is. It's what you guys have been saying, and I think for many people, just getting in touch with that in the first place is the biggest step. So this sort of starting slowly, what do I feel that maybe I do like and I'm okay with? And it's not giving too much attention to any one thing either. when I go into meditation, I don't always do this. I come into a very quiet place, and then I allow myself just to be. And that being resonates with everything else around me. If anything comes up, or emotions, or just stiff shoulders, I don't like this feeling either, or something like this, then it's taking the awareness of it. And sometimes in the awareness of it, if I do this, then I create tension if I try and hold it down. But if I become aware of it, and then I accept it just for what it is, then it's not something, it's not a mystery anymore. And then that space it gets softer, and it dissipates somehow, and then I can come back to this quiet stillness again without the interruption. It's my feeling.
For me, whatever opens the door is good. So I'm grateful for that. If you mindfulness or an app or whatever opens the door is good. But once you're in, you have to walk on your own. So this is so I know students of mine use apps to do this guided meditations, and what it's doing for them is that every day there's like a message you have to get back inside. So this is very helpful in the beginning, because in the beginning the discipline part is really, really tough. So, but if after a year you still need this discipline stuff, you become codependent. So this is the same thing again. So I like these apps. I like what everybody's doing. I like, but it's just opening the door. And in the end, you have to do your own work, and that's the work.
Yeah, I don't have any experience with these apps, but if for some people they are useful, why not then just choose them? And I agree with you totally. If it starts to getting addictive, then okay. But if it helps for a regular, continually kind of practice, then it's fine. It's just whatsoever. But the way you have to go on your own. It's also my Taoist teacher in Beijing. She said like, when we had this meditation for a couple of days, and afterwards later on, and then she said, okay, now it's fine, but now you have to do the way. So she just stopped the class and said, now it's your turn. And I think that's very important, to just find your own way of doing and practicing it. And if it is like, okay, I go back to my app, okay, but then it's just important to just go on your own way, just make your own experiences, and it's never ever straight. It can be in spirals, we all agree.
This is it, exactly.
But you need to go your own way.
And one more thing is that I'm not a very disciplined person, so to see that I suddenly become very disciplined in Tai Chi was strange for the people around me. It was not that strange for me, but for me, because everything else I did, I was doing like half, or I was like very chaotic and improvised the whole thing all the time. But then in my Tai Chi, I become this very rigid, disciplined person. Well, not all the time, but most of the time, And that was a really important lesson for me, that if you do something, it doesn't have to be Tai Chi or meditation, or not even in this corner, but if you are passionate from that, then these qualities that everybody expecting from you will arise by itself. If you like to play music instruments, you will practice. There's nothing in you that if you really like it, and this has learned a lot about me. Okay, so I just have to feel what I like, and if I feel the connection is here, well, then all the power is there. But for doing the dishes, I might do it tomorrow.
It's interesting. It's this outside and inside again, isn't it? I think with the the apps and these kinds of things. We've got the discipline of sitting. I'll turn it on, and it brings me here and now to that, but it is to that. And if I'm always following that, then I never feel what is really actually, what do I want? Maybe I don't want to go in the direction this is giving me. And like you say, like, you know, if you want to learn a musical instrument, you maybe have to start like having a teacher. The guidance is there, but as you guys were just saying, it's that transition then that it becomes mine. And where do I go with this? And what path do I want to follow or listen to? And outside voice and inside voice.
As soon as you find your inside voice, you just have the intrinsic feeling, you just do it.
You do it,
maybe
yeah.
it's not Tai Chi or it's not meditation, maybe it's something completely different, but you just need to find the intrinsic feeling of what you really want to do. And then no one is going to ever stop you doing it.
Yeah. The problems with a stressful lifestyle that many people have is that, you know, just sitting down and sitting still is not physically working this out. And then it's very difficult to concentrate if all of this is going on up here. And I think bringing ourselves to our body, not only do we have this physical movement to work it out, but it also coming back to this, engaging the mind with the body so that I can feel what's going on. And actually, you know, all of that is able to dissipate out. And so things become calmer and softer and smoother because the movement is involved. You know?
I'd like to quote another great teacher from me. She said, like, the aim of meditation is freedom. And it's not like only the felt freedom, but also the bodily freedom, the emotional freedom, the mental freedom. And that's so if the body feels like, I need to move now, so let the body free. Be free and just do whatever you want. And if the body or the mental state says, oh, I need to sit down, I need to calm down, so then this is the way to do. So this is like listening. Now we're coming back again. Where we started. So it's just again listening to the own feelings, to the body, to the thinking and all that stuff. Just being aware of it and not only paying attention to it, but just letting go. Just giving the freedom to oneself on every level.
That's a lot of more. I can say a lot more, but
Thank you.